Coming up on this episode of the Curt Podcast, I give you an update on personnel moves by the Lions as the injury bug continues to bite at Allen Park. Going to look at DetroitLions.com Tim Twentyman's top 10 players so far in Lions training camp. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's time to start the show. What up, though? And welcome to the Curt Podcast, your trusted source for Detroit Lions news and rumors. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with fellow Lions fans just like yourself. Follow me on your favorite social media platforms and visit CurtSteele.com. Today is Monday, August 7th, 2023, and shout out to my family over at Lions Nation Unite. It's time to get after it, man. First up, let's update you on what's going on with the Detroit Lions injuries. Reports are that Emmanuel Moseley has been feeling better. That's what he said, but he remains on the active PUP list with no timetable for return. And the same could be said for Hendon Hooker as he continues to rehab from his ACL injury. He's still on that active non-football injury list, but he's out there after practice working hard, trying to work his way back onto the field. Cornerback Jarren Williams was carted off the field with a lower body injury last week, but he was waived with the injury designation on Friday. Once he clears waivers, he will revert to the Lions injury reserve list, joining Tom Kennedy and tight end Shane Zylstra. Big J-Mo. Jameson Williams missed practice on Saturday, and so did running back Jahmyr Gibbs. Trinity Benson was out as well with that leg injury. However, Big Bank Frank Ragnar returned to practice along with my man Iffy, so got to see him back on the field. Now, Denzel Mims was hobbled after a spectacular catch in the last practice, was escorted back to the locker room by trainers and didn't return to practice on Saturday. Those are your injury updates for 7 August 2023. Here's some personnel moves. The Lions signed cornerback Tay Hayes to replace Jarren Williams. Hayes has spent time in the NFL with the Patriots and the Panthers, but was recently with the Birmingham Stallions of the USFL. The Lions also added former Notre Dame player Avery Davis as they waived outside linebacker and edge rusher Zach Morton. Now, Davis was one of those players who switched positions in college. He was a quarterback when he got to Notre Dame and switched to wide receiver. And finally, former Detroit Lion Oday Adebushe was in Detroit on Sunday for a workout. There is nothing like to announce right now. No signings. The Detroit Lions are off today because they were off yesterday and they're off today as they get ready for joint practices. So you won't hear much from the Lions for the next couple of days as they get ready for that preseason and joint practices with the Giants this week. So Friday night, first preseason of the game is at Ford Field. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop me a comment. I will get back to you as soon as I can. For more Detroit Lions content from me, head over to CurtSteele.com. You can find links to my articles on Yardbarker and SidelineReport.com right there on the homepage. Please follow me on your favorite social media platforms. You can find those links on my homepage as well as the link to get yourself some Curt Steele gear at the Lions Nation Unite shop right there on the homepage. As I mentioned in the intro, here is Tim Twentyman's top 10 performers in Lions training camp up to this point. First up is defensive back Brian Branch. He's already playing with the first team with the ones. Not really a lot into that, what Aaron Glenn said, but his ability to play well in coverage and in the box is going over well with the coaches. It's going to be hard to take that young fella off the field if he continues to play well. Next up is quarterback Jared Goff. He is number 2 on the list. He's been moving the offense up and down the field, taking care of the ball, not really turning it over. He's been distributing the ball all over the place to different weapons. He's just picked up where he left off from last season. He's proven his worth and the possibility he may be the long-term quarterback for the Lions. They'll shoot the messenger who's telling you what's going on. Number 3, defensive lineman Aiden Hutchinson. Hutch was focused on gaining strength and polishing up some of those pass rush moves this offseason, and he's been doing just that. He has been making any lineman not named Penei Sewell look silly trying to block him in training camp. Number 4 is the offensive line. He didn't name anyone particular, but he said they've continued to open holes in the run game and provide Jared Goff and some of the other quarterbacks with time to throw the ball. They've been pretty consistent, and we'll see, even with moving parts coming in and out, Graham Glasgow, Big V, they've been playing good as a unit. Number 5 is big fella, the biggest of the big fellas, Broderick Martin. Dude is long, he's strong, 6'5", 330. He will be a piece for that Lions run defense where he's just going to eat up some blocks and he's going to just cause havoc for that on the defensive line. Number 6 is C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Man, y'all know we was holding our breath when the guy went down. I know I was. Gardner-Johnson is versatile, man. He can play all over the secondary. He makes a difference, man. He's a vocal leader on this team. Lucky number 7 goes to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the Sun God has been dominant all of training camp. He has torched everyone. I mean, everyone in the secondary that has lined up against him. And I have to agree with Tim. His floor for this year is going to be 100 catches and 1,000 yards. Yeah, I told y'all, man. But said it before, and I'm going to say it again, man. The Sun God is him. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Defensive lineman, Alim McNeil is number 8 on the list, man. That dropping to 22 pounds and 13% body fat has shown up on the field. He's much quicker, agile, and he is getting pressure up the middle of the defense. The guy is going to do his thing. Big season coming from Alim the Dream, which will turn into nightmares for opposing quarterbacks. Number 9 on the list is the guy who's been starting from day one as a rookie, first team reps for Sam Laporta. That tight end out of Iowa is doing his thing. The young guy is advanced in his receiving skills as a young tight end. He's going to play a big role for the Lions offense this season. And last but certainly not least, cornerback Starling Thomas, the 5th. I've talked about this young fella before, man. He has stood out in practice with his raw ability and his physical play. I know he got into that fight with my man, or the scuffle. I won't say fight. I'll say scuffle with Jameson Williams, man, because he was with that physical play in practice. He could potentially earn himself a spot on the Lions 53-man roster when the dust settles after the end of preseason. Now it's time for dessert with Curt, man. Sweet bits of news and notes about our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. I have 2 sweet bits of news about the team. First up, Dan Campbell was asked at the Saturday pre-practice media availability if he was going to go to SummerSlam on Saturday evening. He replied no, because he wants to win. He repeated the same thing to WWE superstar Sheamus when he asked MCDC at practice later that day. As my coach, man, he said he wants to win. Now, on Friday, the Lions took a break and hosted a team fouling tournament. Now, this game is played with footballs and bowling pins. It's set up like cornhole. Like you have a setup at one end, a pin set up at the other, and they throw footballs and knock the bowling pins down. Players and coaches competed together in this tournament, and you could tell they bonded in this tournament, where you can see that they just took a break from practice and did some team building events. So I like what they're doing over there. Dan Campbell, shout out to him and his coaching staff for putting on that fouling tournament and just taking a break from the grind of practice right now. Now that's your dessert with your man Curt for 7 August 2023. Thanks for joining me on today's episode of the Curt Steele Podcast, your trusted source for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop me a comment. I will get back to you as soon as I can. For more content from me, head over to CurtSteele.com, where you can find links to my articles, like I said, for Sideline Report and YardBarker.com right there on the homepage, man. And make sure you stay tuned to the channel for more updates on Detroit Lions training camp. Will be coming later on this week as we cover the Lions joint practices. Limited availability for the media, so we'll see what comes out and what I can report on once the information is available. Do your man Curt Steele a favor. Whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. This is Curt Steele, and I will holla at you real soon.